but hiya. Greetings and salutations from Mui Ne, which is a beach town a few hundred kilometers up the coast from Saigon. So the last time I did one of these videos, I still lived in Saigon, and in the month of June I took a very nice job up the coast about 475 kilometers away from Saigon in the town of Nha Trang. Town is the city, but I'm just north of there, work for a very wonderful hotel, and I'm not cooking for the first time in many, many years. I'm going to adjust this. The first time in many years, I'm actually not back of the house, I'm front of the house. So anyway, I'm dog sitting for my friend Carl, who's in Cambodia on a visa run, and dogs are wonderful, two fluffy, smushy white Samoyeds, love them. And it's been really wonderful weather so far, and so today it was raining a bit now, it's overcast, no matter, I'm in the tropics, so naturally I'm going to make a winter dish. Coq au vin, except you think coq au vin, you think snow, wood fire, sitting in front with the one you love. But I'm decided to make it, I've made this before with white wine, so we're making cocoa Chardonnay, and it makes it reverses it to more of a warm weather dish because it doesn't look like a hot weather dish. It's still quite delicious. Into one day because I have a new friend, Roy, who's in the UK, who's doing kind of a virtual cooking. He's already got his chicken marinating. Very proud of you. Now, I will admit I was slightly disappointed. It's the first time in my 7 years in Vietnam that I went to the market and I bought a chicken that didn't have a head on it. I know my American friends are going, yeah, but usually when you go to the market, everything here, like poultry, is freshly killed. So it comes with head and feet and all. And I was so excited, I get to the market, and I've got a chicken with no head and no feet attached. Traditionally, you stew the whole chicken as is. Now, if it's more convenient for you to buy cut up pieces, go ahead, cut it up yourself. If you prefer a certain kind of, if you prefer white meat over dark meat, that's fine. The only thing I ask is that please leave it bone in and skin on, because those make things delicious. If you squeamish about bone, then get it removed, but keep the skin on. You need the skin, it's delicious. It's nice and crispy, gives more flavor. Fat equals flavor. Yeah, so anyway, step one, chicken. Make sure it's all clean, you've taken out the entrails, and if you buy it in pieces, that's great. Fantastic. Second ingredient, sorry, I have a pot here. It's probably a little too small to shove this chicken in. I'm gonna try anyway, so I have a pot. Make sure you have a bowl or a Tupperware or plastic container that has a lid, because you're going to have to marinate this overnight in the wine. So, pot. Got some wine. This is some Chardonnay. It's actually called Santa Catarina. Why not? Anyway, it's a Chardonnay, which I can't get the lid open. Now, you could use no, actually you can't. You shouldn't. If you have a Riesling or a Sauvignon Blanc, I think those are too crisp, perhaps too dry for this dish, because you are going to cook the chicken in the wine for a long time, later or tomorrow. You're going to need an onion. Now, peel it, cut it, peel it. It does not have to be exact size. I'm actually going to be very lazy about this. Peel it and slice it into rounds. Because here's the thing, recipes don't have to be exact. Unless it's baking, then there is an art to that. And a science. We're just going to peel this. If you do what my chef at work does, which is very smart. Take all the shavings and peels and everything, and he makes a vegetable stock out of it on the stove. It simmers all day. He swears it's the best hangover cure in the world. I would know. I don't really drink much at work. Hardly at all, because I'm working. But onion in your marinating pot. You could dice it. Sure, why not? Might be easier in the end. I'm being particularly lazy because I'm kind of on holiday. So why not? This is the first, I will admit, this is the first cooking I've done in a long time. And I haven't cooked professionally in a year. Can you imagine? Carrot. Next ingredient. Carrot. I'm going to try and peel it. If you can't, I don't think I know how to use this peeler. So I've cleaned the skins, scrubbed them really well. There's actually a lot of vitamins in these. So I'm just going to leave. As long as you have nice, scrubby, clean veg, is your friend. So is a sharp knife, and so are clean hands. So I'm going to just slice this up, cut it lengthwise, and then cut it into rounds. I mean, you know. Let it rain in your boat. I do live in Southeast Asia where some European ingredients are expensive or harder to find, or you can't find at all. So, you know, improvise. Celery. Why are these called Deux? Why are they just not called celery? Is the celery stalk like the whole thing? Anyway, celery. I would say, I'm going to put in like 2. I would say don't throw away the leaves because there's a lot of flavor in these leaves. They're not as bitter as you'd think. What is bitter that I've discovered in my search, in my quest to find foreign ingredients in Vietnam, you can't find them. I thought this was thyme, as in fresh thyme, to get in these herbs, and it's not. It's actually quite good. It's really bitter, almost as bitter as the Belgian endive. So, I'm only going to use a little bit in here. If you have fresh thyme, pop it in. Now this part is called bouquet garni, which means a bouquet of flowers or something. Garni means, you know, I'm not going to get into the French part. But normally you take your aromatics, like the thyme and the cloves and the peppercorns, and put them in a little cheesecloth bag or a tea strainer. If you have one of those round tea balls, that's perfect for this. Shove that in there. I don't have one of those, I'm being lazy. I can just pick it out afterwards. So I'm going to put in a little bit because I don't want this to get too bitter, but I like the look of this. In fact, this will make a really good salad. I might just add some of these celery leaves because they're not as bitter as I thought. They're quite sweet, especially the young yellow ones in the middle. Oh yeah, in you go. Cloves. These are really quite strong. So we're going to use 2. Look, hi. About a spoonful, so I don't know, 10, 15, 20 in the pot. Now since I don't have any fresh thyme, parsley, things like that, parsley works very well in the I found some dried thyme in the fridge, in the cupboard. A teaspoon or so, I mean, you know, nothing exact. Actually, this is herbes de Provence, which is quite nice. It's basically dried bouquet garni. Delicious. Next. Chicken. He's like a little bit bigger than the pot. So I'm gonna let gravity do the trick. Now you can carve it up. I'm gonna be kind of half carved. Let gravity do the trick. As in, where should I cut? Well, right here. Meow. Meow. I'm not gonna butcher up the rest of this because I think it will fit in the pot. Wash those chicken hands. Chickeny hands washed onto the Chardonnay. So, I'm going to use about 3/4 of this bottle. Let's see. You can use the wine that's marinating as the cooking liquid. So, once this is all done, don't throw it out. I've got about a cup's worth left. Saving that for part 2. Let it marinate for maybe 7-8 hours. Ideally overnight. But you can do it in 7 or 8 hours, which is what I'm going to do because, so, put the lid on, pop in the fridge, come back later, tomorrow, whenever, get that lid on, and we'll do part 2 then.